The competition for building the fastest motorcycle is just as old as the motorcycle itself. It was the 70s when things really started to escalate, thanks to the Kawasaki H2, the big daddy of the modern supercharged monster. In the early 70s, the 750 was the golden number. Everybody had to have a 750cc flagship in their lineup. And it's the Norton's Commando, which was the fastest among them, with a top speed of 190 km per hour. At that time, Kawasaki had a H2 Mach IV in their lineup, a 500cc 3-cylinder monster making 60 brake horsepower. That figure was more than many of the 750s of its time. Kawasaki could have stopped there, but they didn't. This was also the time when the two-strokes ruled the motorcycling world. Most of the manufacturers were using the more advanced reed valve design for their flagship motorcycles. But Kawasaki stuck with the port piston design for making its engine simple and compact. And what they ended up making was something truly terrifying, both in a good and bad way: the H2 Mach IV. When it arrived on the market, the most powerful 750 was the Triumph Trident with 58 brake horsepower. The H2 was making a solid 75 brake horsepower, which was unheard of in a road bike at that time. Not only that, the H2 was the first production motorcycle to cross 200 km per hour mark with a top speed of 202 km per hour, becoming the fastest production bike of its time. And it got there rather quickly, with a 0 to 100 km time of just 5 seconds and a standing quarter mile in just 12.3 seconds at 168 km per hour. Nothing spectacular by today's standards, but it was revolutionary back then. Agreed, the 75 brake horsepower figure is not that big of a deal these days. But there was two factors that made the H2 truly terrifying machine. First, the engine. If you have ever ridden a two-stroke, you know that they got a relatively narrow power band. You really have to wring its neck to get to the fun part. And when you reach there, it hits you hard, real hard. The H2 750cc triple also had the same characteristic, but the magnitude of it was something that no one had ever experienced before. The second factor was its components. The double cradle tubular frame was simply incapable of handling the ferocious power of the engine. It flexes horribly in corners, and if you're riding fast in an uneven surface, it will become totally unstable. It's almost impossible to keep the bike in line in a corner. The fact that it had a slightly rear bias weight distribution made the matters even worse. To simply put, in the hands of a novice rider, the H2 is a disaster waiting to happen. And these factors helped it to earn its rightful nickname, the Widowmaker. But Kawasaki did make some changes to the chassis to make it a bit more rider-friendly in the following years. But even with all that downsides, the H2 is still considered as a proper hooligan of its time. But that fun didn't last for long. In 1975, Kawasaki had to cease the production due to the increasingly strict safety, environmental and noise regulations.